Hi everyone, I'm Steph. I'm one of the owners with my husband at Mountain Made Fitness Collective here in Revelstoke, British Columbia. Currently our physical space, our gym is closed. So what we're offering up is just our live videos, live workouts on Instagram and on YouTube to keep our community engaged and motivated and just give you guys some ideas. Today what I'm going to be taking you through is going to be a 8-minute EMOM. So we're going to go 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 2 movements. We're going to do sit-ups, and then the second movement is going to be flutter kicks. So I'll go through those movements now. So with the sit-ups, we're going to start with your butt on the ground. Your feet can be either in a butterfly position. This is a nice way if you feel like sometimes when you're doing your sit-ups this way, your hip flexors grip like mine do. So just by relaxing your knees a little bit, relaxing the groin, you can keep your feet together, and this is a nice position to go with. So we're gonna go arms behind our head, and then we're gonna come up and we're gonna touch our feet, and then we're gonna come back down again. If you're feeling, if this is an easy movement for you, you wanna make this a little bit harder, we can add some weight to it. So abdominals are a muscle, so just like anything, by adding load to a muscle, that's how we can strengthen the muscle. So often you don't think about adding load to your abdominal work or your core work, but this is an option for you. So today I'm using a 10-pound dumbbell. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start on my back. I'm gonna put the dumbbell directly over my head, making sure I have a nice grip on my dumbbell. And then I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna push my head through, and this is gonna be my top position. And I'm gonna come back down, trying to roll through the spine, come back down, trying to keep that dumbbell directly over my face. If I'm getting tired, I'm just gonna put that dumbbell down and go right back into the sit-ups. Okay, that's gonna be movement number 1 today. Movement number 2 is gonna be a flutter kick. So this is a particularly difficult movement. I'm gonna show you the scales. First, we'll go through the flutter kick. I guess it's really big in the Navy SEALs, and I know why, because it never gets easier. So we're gonna start, so just like in that hollow position from the other day, the big point here in this movement is keeping the lower back nice and flat. So you don't want to be in an arch position, you don't want to be in a neutral spine, you want to have your belly button pressed into your spine and that lower spine nice and flat on the mat. You don't want to be able to put your fingertips in there. Okay, so from this position, if you have any neck issues, hold your hands behind your head, take the weight take the weight out of and just put them in your hands. That will just help with the weight of your head, which is actually pretty heavy. So now we're going to extend the legs out. And for me, I'm gonna actually go down, reaching my hands down towards my feet, and we're just gonna do these little flutter kicks. Keeping your toes pointed is just gonna help keep everything nice and contracted. So we want to think about squeezing the glutes, keeping the belly nice and tight. I'm gonna tuck my chin and looking in towards my belly button, and that's gonna be my flutter kick. Okay, there's not really a good scale to that by bending the knees into a tabletop position. It doesn't really work. So a better option for scaling this movement is gonna be coming back to that hollow position into one of those options of a scale. So it can either be the head off the mat, thinking about the lower back, hands behind the head, just in this tabletop position. I can make this harder by extending a leg out, and here will just be a static hold. I would just hold this, and then I would switch 15 seconds in, switch, and then again, if I wanted to go to that full hollow hold, this is a little bit more advanced, that would be the position that I could get into. Okay. Ready? We're gonna get going. I'm sweating already with the fire. I have a stopwatch. Make sure you have water, a towel, a clock, some music. I can't play music. We're putting this on YouTube, so we don't have any music. I'm just gonna talk and give you some cues and some tips as we go, but please feel free to put some music on so you don't have to listen to me ramble throughout. Okay, so we're gonna start with those sit-ups. So remember, options are weighted or not, and then that next minute, we're gonna go into our flutter kicks or hollow hold position, and I'll go through the movements as I go through it. Okay, so I have my clock, 10 seconds. I'm gonna start with my feet in that butterfly position, grabbing onto my weight, putting it directly over top of my head. 3, 2, 1, I'm gonna work for 30 seconds. And always when I'm doing these EMOMs, what I wanna try to do is pick a number I can do in 30 seconds, and then I want to try to maintain that number. So this round, I don't want to do 20, and then my next round I do 10. I want to try to keep the numbers nice and even. So I've got 10 seconds to go, 5 seconds, and rest. So those are my sit-ups. I'm gonna put the weight down to the side and have a nice long 30-second rest. So with this, I'm gonna transition. If I need to grab some water or towel off, this is when I can open a window. This is when you do that. It's beautiful here in Revelstoke. It's sunny. We don't have any snow. It's the end of November and we still don't have any snow on the ground. Not really minding it. There's snow in the mountains, but just not down in the valley. Okay, so the flutter kick, hands down by your side, 30 seconds. For this one, really important that you remember to breathe. I'm talking breathing, so keeping everything nice and tight, pointing the toes, squeezing your glutes. So I can also cross my hands. So 15 seconds to go. Keeping that lower back nice and flat. 10 seconds to go. This one I find really hard. And rest. Nice. So I can just rest by just coming up into a seated position, trying to catch my breath, open up my chest, and then get ready for my next set. So remember, we're only going for 8 minutes here, trying to maximize each set. So getting myself ready, my feet in that butterfly position, grabbing my weight if I'm gonna use a weight, and then I'm gonna find that reclined position on the ground, weight directly above my face, and then I'm gonna go 30 seconds. So in my top position, I want you to think about putting your head through a window, trying to keep that dumbbell stacked directly over your head. This one is great for shoulder mobility as well. 15 seconds. I'm not getting in that many reps, but I'm making quality reps here. It doesn't always, volume doesn't always, more isn't always better. I want to do really good movement, okay? And rest. "20 seconds to go. Okay, so remember, if you need to change up the movement from flutter kick to that hollow position, either the tabletop position, there's lots of variations of that hollow hold position. 3, 2, 1, 5 seconds. I'm gonna keep going with the flutter kick. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Arms reaching down to my toes. That's just gonna help lengthen. I really wanna think about that upper body, like curling in, looking in towards my belly button, keeping that length in the legs, toes pointed. That's gonna really keep everything nice and engaged, especially those glutes. 10 seconds to go. Remember to breathe. 5 seconds. And rest. Nice, we're halfway. So this is a good point to check in, just see how that feels. For me, those flutter kicks are way harder than my sit-ups. So that's great. It's always nice to have one exercise that's a little bit easier, so they're not both just like killing you, both exercises. So I'm really gonna focus on making those, resting a little bit more on my sit-ups and then really going for it on my flutter kicks. Okay, so for this one, I'm just gonna show you what that sit-up looks like without weight, so I can go a little bit faster. Okay, so here I'm gonna use my arms to get back up for momentum. So I'm using those arms, touching my heels, and then rolling back down through my spine. Nice. You're gonna see I'm gonna get a few more reps in here. You can also use a pillow or something behind your back if you're feeling this in your tailbone. Nice. And rest. Pants with zippers are a no-go for those. Someone told me they're called a raspberry butt. You actually get like a really good mark. So trying to get pants or shorts, those lemon pants or shorts with the zippers, those are not great for this movement, especially if you're doing a lot of reps, because you'll get shapage down there. And yeah, it won't go away. You'll actually get a scar. Okay, that's from experience. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to show you a variation of that hollow position right now. So we're going to do 15 seconds, one leg extended out. So really want to think about those arms right out behind me, belly in nice and tight. Again, I'm thinking about pointing the toe. So I'm going to come up 15 seconds. I'm going to switch legs. So I'm going to switch here. The lower down you go to the ground, the harder it is. If you want to make this a little bit easier, just bring the foot up towards the ceiling. The big thing is that lower back is staying nice and flat on the ground. Okay, and rest. Okay, I'm gonna continue with just the sit-ups for this round. So just no weight, just trying to get as many reps as I can. Really thinking about coming to the top position, sitting on those sit bones nice and tall. And if you are struggling with that mobility in your range, if you're using the dumbbell, you can always use the dumbbell at your chest as well. Instead of keeping it overhead, that overhead position is a little bit harder. 3, 2, 1. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna use my arms for momentum. With this, I can speed up, trying to go a little bit faster. You can see I kind of start to move on the mat a little bit. That's where the zippered pants can get in the way. 15 seconds, go, halfway. 5 seconds. And rest, nice. Okay, so we have one more. We're gonna go back to those flutter kicks. You see this one it's a really great one, especially if you've been out skiing for the day and you just want something to kind of finish off the day with a quick little workout, just working on your abs. I always joke, like, you can never do too much core work because it's essential to have a strong core. That's really the foundation for everything. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna go back to the flutter kicks. Okay, thinking about my breath. Big breath in, big breath out. I'm gonna extend those arms down to my feet. Try to just make little kicks, like you're in the water doing flutter kicks. That's where this is coming from. Nice. 15 seconds to go. 10 seconds. And rest. Nice. So a quick little 8-minute core workout. I'm sweating. Those flutter kicks really burn and they feel great. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see anything in particular from us, please subscribe and like to our channel and just give us some ideas. We're happy. We want to just provide good workouts, quick, easy workouts for people, and keep people motivated. Thanks.